This week's episode is proudly sponsored by Texas Roadhouse, where there's legendary food with legendary service. Oh my.
All aboard the Toxic Podcast Train. The Toxic Podcast Train. Welcome to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And together we are
Ryan and John.
on the couch as always, Cara Tafolla, and joining us this week again, Olivia Tafolla. Bringing you all of the cringiest things that happened on the internet this week.
Let's just get into it. Let's just get into it.
By the way, amazing.
You didn't. I'm
gosh.
so
I'm
glad
going
when
to
we
Super
came
Source.
in, you didn't see me come in with
I
the
didn't see it. No.
with the ukulele.
That was so
That was
good.
perfect. You were like, "Oh, we should have planned for that. That would have been so good."
I already did.
Oh, hilarious. Well, without beating around the bush, Colleen, is her name Colleen Ballinger?
Yep,
Yes.
Colleen Ballinger.
Colleen Ballinger, over the past couple weeks, was faced with some pretty heavy accusations of grooming her underage fans, messaging them, and even sending them articles of, intimate clothing.
And embarrassing them on stage.
Embarrassing them on stage. A number of things she's been under the gun for. And she then responded to those accusations, with a song, a 10-minute ukulele song that she had written called The Toxic Gossip Train. Actually, the YouTube video is just titled Hi, period.
No. Already no.
And it's swimming somewhere in the world of like 6-7 million views right now.
Oh.
And she's getting torn apart for it. She
course,
has
of
absolutely
course.
missed the mark.
Yes.
Yeah, when I first heard about this, I thought like maybe it was kind of the angry mob that we know and love, but like as the details started to emerge, it's like it's really bad. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the stuff like you just have to think like, what were you thinking, And
Yes.
and what's crazy is like, my brain, I thought, oh, she was young, but she was like in her mid-20s when the whole Miranda Sings kind of went, like
She's
took off.
she's like 30-something now, right? I mean,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it's like you really don't have the like I was a kid.
I didn't know any better.
Yeah, like, you were supposed to be a
Right.
functioning adult in that sense.
Yeah, definitely
but-
over 18.
Her biggest argument throughout the whole thread of the video and like comments and stuff she's made is that like she's not like sexually, like she's not grooming them. She just is a loser. She's like,
Miranda
I'm
Sings
just,
is just a
yeah, I just have
crazy-
young fans, and I love talking to my young fans, and that's just because I'm lame. Like I have no life. And I feel like in terms of like a cop out for
She's
that sort of
36.
thing, it just seems weak. Like, well, I don't know any better. Like, I don't know. There's probably truth to it, but I feel like it's just not really something you
Well,
say.
her biggest thing too
Like-
was like, oh, Miranda Sings is a crazy, wacky character, and you never know
Right.
what she's gonna do. And
So one of the things, so notably, one of the incidences is that she did this bit, or it was like a fundraising bit or something, as Miranda, as her character. That's like this who thinks that she's great singer, like type character. She has a weird voice and everything.
Yeah.
She did this bit where she was selling her clothes because she needed to make money for rent or something.
Yeah, you tell me about
And
that.
so she sold her underwear and her bra to a 16-year-old boy
yeah, really weird.
over the internet. Was like mailing people her clothes, like articles of clothing, and she was like doing a live stream, and it was like, I don't know, should we send him the underwear? Yeah, let's do it. Huh?
Awful.
that's not
Yeah.
even like
I
the
s-
first thing that she was that all started with.
What was the first thing?
The first thing was a girl on TikTok.
Uh-huh.
Somebody had posted a video of her on stage at a Miranda Sings show,
Okay.
where
I
this
saw
girl
this.
then went on TikTok and explained. She said that she was the biggest fan of Miranda Sings.
Okay.
Knew all of her bits in her shows, had seen it multiple times.
Sure.
And she has a bit called the porn bit,
Okay.
where I don't know what the bit
No.
was about, but if you were wearing like little pieces of clothing,
Like
or
skimpy
like
clothes,
you're a little
or-
bit skimpier in
Yeah,
the audience,
sure.
she would choose you to be part of this bit. This girl wanted to be part of this bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
She dressed a
Did
certain
not
way.
get chosen for that bit, but instead got chosen for the yoga bit,
Which
where
is
Miranda
what?
Sings brings an audience member up on stage and does yoga with them.
Okay.
But the yoga that she did with this like 16-year-old girl in her like little skimpy romper was this girl like lays on her back and Miranda Sings just like opens her
Spreads
legs.
her legs open.
And she was like
weird.
incredibly embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
This girl had already like been through sexual assault before, so she was just like, what
So
the
why?
heck?
So why would she want to be in the porn bit, whatever that is?
I don't know what the porn bit
The
was.
porn bit was like she brought some, like Cara was explaining. They bring somebody who's, I would even say like dressed that, scandalously. I guess. It was
Yeah,
more
the
like
way that the
modern
girl said
clothing.
skimpy was she was
Right.
wearing a romper.
Right.
Okay.
And then they'd bring like inevitably someone would dress like Miranda, and so she'd bring whoever was dressed like Miranda Sings and that girl, and she would literally just be like, "This is porn. This is not porn. This is porn. This is not porn." And people
Okay.
thought it was so funny.
Okay.
Oh, that's so
And they're she's
weird.
referring to the Miranda Sings character as like, this is modest and this is like not. And
This is hot. This is not.
It was.
So a big thing
It was
about
just
that video
weird.
was a
It's-
bunch of comments where you should be apologizing to this girl.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing that Miranda Sings says
This
in
is-
her
this is
thing
the
is, it's
photo from the bit.
PG-13. My shows are PG-13. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh wow.
This is the photo from
John's
the
gonna
bit.
Yes.
intercut this
Yeah.
into the episode
It's
right here.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
it's
And
just weird.
I probably won't. It's weird, but you,
know
can
what
imagine.
It reminds me of like in high school when somebody's trying to be funny and it's
Right.
like, oh, I was just trying to be funny. I'm just doing it's funny. I'm doing a joke.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's not funny. It
Yep.
was never funny.
It's
Nobody's
weird,
laughing.
Yeah.
It's
right?
weird.
Yeah.
You're
Well-
doing it for attention and it's just weird.
It's like she just got this huge fan base.
Yeah, I will say in a little bit contrast to that, but like when YouTube started, like 2008, 2009, even up until I feel like she stopped doing stuff in like 2012, like that kind of world is when it stopped being funny. Like this brand of shock humor that was
Yeah,
like
it was so popular.
YouTubers would just say anything and like create like crazy stuff, like make like, really inappropriate jokes. Like, and we kind of saw a little bit of that backlash come around during like the whole Me Too movement where like, the one I'm thinking of is like James Gunn made some tweets about like raping babies or something.
Or Shane Dawson.
Yeah.
Shane
And it's
Dawson's
like
probably the most.
Shane, yeah. So they're
Recent.
going the way of Shane Dawson where like they just say wacky, crazy. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that. And like that's their brand.
I think it goes along with the fact that like people didn't really understand how like lasting the internet would be and that
For
like
sure.
things you're
How
saying
much
now
undue
for
attention you get. Yep.
Yeah, are eventually going to still be there. Like
I don't know. I thought about this a lot because this is obviously huge news right now. And I thought like every instance of the Miranda Sings character that I had exposure to, in that when it was actually popular,
Yeah.
always seemed like it was a funny, clean bit. So in my
Yeah,
mind, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm with you on
why
that.
even go there? Because like I didn't even know this was happening, but also like the fact that she did, she had so much other like material that I thought was funny and it was like totally normal.
She
Maybe
would
it's
like
just
try
those-
to
weird
just those
cringe
live
bits.
shows.
She would like try to sing and she was like always terrible and she like had a funny voice and she'd try to like, break down riffs and stuff.
Right.
But I imagine over time that just didn't get the views and you just go crazier. And then you go the way of like Jenna Marbles, who was like, a couple of years ago, I feel. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe 2 or 3 years ago, she said, I just want to say I've grown so much as a person and I made a lot of content over my, the span of my YouTube career that was cringy and problematic and like just downright wrong, right?
Not okay, yeah.
She had a couple like pretty racist bits and like whatever. And she said, okay, and so I'm going to not only take those videos down, I'm like done with YouTube. I'm just like just
Yeah.
really out of the blue. I feel like one day, like there wasn't even an allegation or anything against her, but I feel like it was like kind of surrounding her,
Well,
like her adjacent, like the whole Shane Dawson
sure.
thing
I
happened.
think her and Colleen are the same age too.
and kind of started at the same time. Yeah.
The thing that doesn't make any sense to me, though, particularly, is that these bits that we're talking about, were like in the live show environment. So it's like,
Sure.
and maybe there was stuff posted on her channel that was later removed, but like the thing that's crazy, it's like it felt like she was doing something differently in the live show.
Yes.
That like, why would that translate based off of what works on the internet?
Yeah.
Like, why would you even backpedal to something like or change directions to something like that was so vulgar and weird in a live environment
with fans? I guess.
So that's kind of the other big moving piece of this is she had a group chat of fans or something where she would just text like people that signed up for it or something, gave their phone number, and she would like DM underage fans and say like kind of weird, like borderline sexual stuff. And they were saying, yeah,
she used to ask about, like, what do you think about, and it was like sex related. Like, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? Or what are you like doing with your counterparts or whatever? Like sexually, and it was just like
super weird.
Right. The whole
shock
thing is
humor,
just
right?
So,
that's the whole.
But that's what my thing is though. It's not like it was to get views. Like a lot of these environments were like really secluded, like intimate. I say intimate because the live show, but really the live shows were probably big. But they were like inherently intimate environments, which makes it even weirder. It's not like she had this persona online. You know what I'm saying? She had this all in these outside sources, which to me is very predatory.
It's very telling of the whole situation. Yeah.
Okay, you know what's weird to me is that she is like being accused of these like pretty serious things.
Yes.
Like, and then she decides to make a song as her apology video. It's like by singing about it, you immediately lose any sort of credibility for me.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not gonna take you seriously if you're gonna be like playing a song on the ukulele. Like, if you actually are like feeling attacked by these and feel like it's not factual, then talk about it. Like, I would rather hear you say like, no, like I never had that intention. Like, I'm so sorry if that's how it's coming across. Like, if you have a valid argument, then just give your valid argument. Like, you know what I mean?
You think because she does say at the very beginning, like, oh, my team didn't want me to say anything. Do you think that was kind of an FU to her team too?
Totally. Absolutely.
Like,
was.
Which is so stupid.
You don't want me to say anything? Fine, I'm gonna sing it.
Yeah.
It makes
it's
you
like
sound like a crazy person.
It
Literally.
makes us all realize that she like just doesn't really care about it. Like you don't think it's very serious at all.
It makes it seem more like she has something to hide. And her
Really?
team is like, you shouldn't be talking about this because it makes you look bad. And she's like, no, I don't.
I feel like it's probably worse, which is like, I don't even think that this is a problem. You're coming after me with your toxicness. It's like, okay, no, that's obviously not what's happening here. And
what's even telling her not to talk about it? Like her team is saying, like, you shouldn't.
Like, don't make a public statement because
why?
Because maybe I would imagine that maybe there isn't like hey, we've looked at this stuff. You know, we've looked at the evidence people are bringing forward,
so it makes
and it doesn't warrant addressing. So if you address it, maybe you end up digging yourself into a deeper hole. So just don't address it. And she's like, you know what? I'm just not going to take that from the haters.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
it makes her look less credible. It's like your team's telling you not to do it.
It's very unhinged.
You know what's crazy is I didn't even know allegations were coming up about her. And she has signaled she's if you wanted to like minimize the damage, like why would you make this video?
Well,
like
I had seen some stuff, but it was very small murmurs
compared
and very
to
casual. And then all of a sudden when her video pops up, that's what people are using now. Is like that's the whole thing is Colleen Ballinger made this video regarding these accusations, which is kind of what you're saying. It's like the craziest part. It's like she's highlighting this in a way that like, it's poetic justice, right? Because like she deserves to be canceled and probably to lose any sort of sponsorships that she has. But at the same time, it's like, had she just not said anything, like, it's almost like she's like a narcissist. Like she had to address it. Well, that's like, why?
So my question is if like we're going off the fact that like, oh, she did these things and like she did have ill intent. But it's like there's still an argument against that. It's she's lost that argument because she's made a song about herself that makes her seem like the most suspicious person in the situation.
Well, especially because you like you said, it minimizes like the hurt that was happening, like whether or not she is fully at fault, in this scenario. By like doing this corny little bit, you're like minimizing what these people went through, what these these victims went through. No matter what, that's at the minimum you're making it seem like a joke.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's like, let's just say you did this unintentionally. In her mind, she's like, oh, I did these bits like because I was trying to be funny, trying to chase the fame, whatever. And now, like, you find out that you have been hurting these people and these people do feel taken advantage of. She's like, well, screw that. You know, like, doesn't even care about
She's
that.
like,
at all.
I don't
She's
even.
like,
That's just toxic. You know,
Yeah.
it's just gossip, and you're trying to
Toxic
slander
gossip.
my good reputation.
Well,
Yeah.
Question mark.
That's what's so crazy too about like the one thing we're realizing about internet fame in the last probably 5 years is these unspoken power dynamic issues, right?
Sure.
Which are completely valid, and that internet stars and celebrities should be overtly like aware of and conscious of when they interact with people. And that's the one thing she like fully has skipped over. Is like she might have hurt somebody and she maybe didn't consciously know that, but like there is definitely hurt and people were affected by this. And I feel like with this she's just like fully running over that thought process, which is crazy to me. She's like she lost all credibility.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
Maybe there is something to like internet stars and like how quickly, or maybe not even just internet stars, like rising to fame so quickly and like not being able to kind of like learn how to be famous, like I feel like a lot of like older actors and even people that like started acting or singing or whatever from a really young age, like some of them, it goes one of two ways, I guess. It goes like they spin out of control and they're a childhood actor, or they have like a long career. And somebody like, I'm mostly thinking of like somebody like Jason Bateman, who's like, he started acting when he was like 10, right? And obviously he's gone through his share of bad things, like, drug abuse and like whatever, loving fame too much. And it seems like he's evened out and come clean on the other side. And it's like, I don't know, maybe there's something to like, oh, you got super famous so fast, like, and that just messes up your, obviously everything these days is like under the microscope, especially like a video like this that's like 10 minutes long and like people are scrutinizing every moment of it just because it's so wacky.
The comments.
Yeah.
Would you like me to read a couple?
Just one or two. Yeah, give me a couple.
Okay. I scrolled through and there's a couple good ones.
Uh-huh.
The top liked one is "This is so painfully millennial."
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it because I'm in a room of older
That's
people.
true.
Wait,
We're not
hold on.
millennials,
We're not
so
millennials.
nice try.
Incredibly
Slow down.
cringy. And
Yeah.
giving those
Yeah.
videos that are like, we hate Gen Z. Like, the ones that are like,
Yeah.
we
Yes.
are so much better
Yes.
than Gen Z.
Like that movie we saw last week.
So unfair for you to release this banger one day before Olivia released Vampire.
Dang, she took her.
Someone put the hook low-key slaps.
Okay, wait. I want to go back to what you're saying. You're saying, like, because she rose to fame so quickly, like, maybe that's the reason why she spiraled.
I feel like,
Because, I mean, yes. Like,
Yeah.
obviously. Like, people get famous. I don't care how quickly or not. Like, anybody who's famous is weird. And it's
so is
literally
it the
just
level
because-
of fame, or because I feel like she's not like, she was huge, but I feel like she's not right now.
No.
So
And, like-
Well,
I
she was
watched
massive
her YouTube videos recently, like in the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Like her normal, not Miranda sings. Like her normal.
Her, what, did she
YouTube
like put out
channel.
vlogs or something?
Yeah,
Colleen.
she put out vlogs when she was pregnant with her twins.
Okay.
She was on Waitress on Broadway, so she did vlogs
Oh.
like doing that.
What was she, the waitress?
She was Dawn. She was When He Sees Me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she did that for
Sure.
a while, but a lot of her videos were like, I am depressed. I have this condition. I have this condition. She after she had kids, she had a condition where she couldn't gain weight back, and that's why she's so scarily skinny.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So maybe it's not so much like her level of fame, but like even the opposite. Like she had this fame, and obviously, like I said, like she's not as famous as she was in 2010, 2009. So it's like maybe you're chasing that, and you're trying to cope with the fact that like you're not young anymore.
Her dream
and
was Broadway,
postpartum depression.
and she did it, and it's like now it's.
I'm sorry. There's 1,000 other
I don't
things you
know.
can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think she's afraid of getting canceled, and so she felt like, okay, well, let me just do what's on brand for me,
Right.
and do a song because that's what I've always done, and I'll explain myself, and then everyone hopefully will be able to come to terms.
I guess
or
I'm.
at least
I guess
gain
I'm more
respect for
talking.
me.
I'm just more talking about like her choices that she made that brought these allegations.
Yeah.
For, like doing the weird bits and
Oh.
like.
I think that just comes along with trying to be
you're the favorite.
I think likability is a prison.
Yes.
And so people want to keep
Whoa.
the
Write that
like.
down.
Go ahead.
Write that down.
It's
oh
true.
My
It is true.
gosh.
I think she's trying to be the the person that everybody knows her as, whatever, and so she's like pushing the envelope, and it's just not.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Not by making this weird ukulele video. I think more just like what brought us to these events.
I really think she's exposed herself as something deeper than just like somebody who wants to stay relevant. That whole video screams narcissist to me. Like
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
whole thing screams
Totally.
like
Main character.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like that is, and that's something that I felt like. And again, I didn't watch a ton of her content growing up, but like I knew who she was, and always kind of
She
saw her
performed
stuff.
for us.
Right at the same, you guys, not me, and I never like
Relax.
knew her content. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like what I did know is that she did try to. Obviously, Miranda was the character, but herself, she came across as like this genuinely nice
Yes.
person. Like obviously, her character, you could maybe say that the character went a little too far in these areas, but she always came across outside of Miranda as like this normal, like
I mean, I
Right.
remember
Girl,
when
I
I met
guess.
her, she was like very sweet and
Flex.
kind and
right. But
whatever.
then this like you
were
look
there.
at this, and you're
She's
like,
jerk-
was there.
Some
Go
major
ahead. Go
flex.
ahead. Go ahead.
met-
How was she?
Direct
What was
your
she
choice,
like?
Alex, come on.
When I met Miranda Sue,
When I met
Oh,
Miranda
well,
Sue-
when,
actually
it's
a
weird
nice
because when I met
person.
her, she was very well adjusted.
Well, she was just.
so I don't know what
she was
happened
funny
between then and
you
now.
know?
I don't know.
But I guess she did
but-
just have crazy fans too.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but she was acting crazy.
thank you.
She was
Thank
the
you.
weirdo.
That's what I'm saying. It's like she clearly
The
is
bit-
unhinged.
I just
you know.
what doesn't make sense to me is like, in what context does it make sense to send somebody your underwear? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
it's not even her
so
bit.
weird.
Like, that's not even her bit.
Yeah.
Part
And
of
the
me
porn-
hopes that
the
it
porn bit,
wasn't
like,
even hers. It was just
It
like
had
she
to
went
be
to Target
so
and bought.
obvious.
Mm-hmm.
The porn thing, like you're dealing with underage kids, and like whatever the bit, like
Yeah.
that doesn't seem like it was a good idea at all.
I think
ever
she's
in
trying to be
concept.
ironic. She's trying to be ironic, but it just comes across as degrading women. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't
What?
come
Yeah.
across
Yeah.
well. Like, I feel like
Like how people buy people's like used underwear on like
Right.
this was
So that's
Miley
probably
Cyrus's
that's probably
underwear
the
on
bit,
eBay.
or like OnlyFans people and
yeah. I think it just a lot of these early YouTubers lack some critical thinking.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
think it has to do with the fact that they didn't realize how impactful what they were doing was. Like,
totally.
they
I'm
didn't know.
100% with you on that because
Did I talk to you about my theory about YouTubers?
let it rip.
well,
I just was when this
Drag
came
'em.
out, I was like thinking, well, we've seen all these major like YouTube stars that reach a certain level, David Dobrik, and they're like
Rip.
they're all weird, right? And so
Yes.
I'm like in my brain, I'm going, is there something like
In the water?
like chemically different that like in your brain that you to be able to like be that level of like fame or something like that?
I'm gonna say yes because the medium is not that of like a conventional like celebrity. Like I feel like a lot of celebrities, and I'm broad strokes here, but
Yeah,
just hear
sure,
me out. Like
sure.
like movie stars are generally good looking and have like
Yeah.
a certain like je ne sais quoi, right? Whereas
Hmm.
YouTube made everybody, look it up.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah,
I love
voulez-vous.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
literally said it in my head
I
right
was-
before you
first
said
of
it.
all, I
I
was
knew you were gonna
literally-
say it, Jenny.
I like it.
I'm trying to drop schwa, okay? So
you're saying that
There is.
YouTubers have a different quality that makes them famous.
No, I'm
then-
saying YouTube flattened that playing field. So YouTube stars don't look a certain way. They're
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of weird and wacky creatures.
I just feel like,
Or at
there's
least they
gotta be
were
something
from the
different
beginning.
in the way that you
mean-
like you work or you think
I
to
just feel
have
like
that
people
kind
get
of
lucky.
drive.
Like,
I thought so too, but like all these people that have hit this conventional YouTube fame are now it's all coming out like they're weird, like they're
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
psycho to
Yeah,
some
they are
degree.
But
weird.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
I guess that's not to say that regular celebrities aren't. Like
Totally.
actors are also narcissists and weird,
it's
and
kind of nice.
musicians
Maybe
are
I'm making
psycho.
an
And
excuse because I feel like I need something to make
Justify
sense
why
why we
you're not-
haven't. That's a
yeah,
'Cause we're
major
normal.
success,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
no,
I,
they're weird. They're weird.
Right.
Yes.
And they're only famous because they're weird.
but I just kind of wonder because
do you think they're famous because they're weird, or they're famous and they're weird?
I
Both.
think it's
Okay,
just
famous
opportunity and talent
and they're weird.
intersecting. I think sometimes it's just the right time. Miranda Sings was born on this earth at a certain time where it was funny to people for her to hike up her pants and
Yeah.
talk in a funny voice. Like it just worked.
She happened to have a camera at that moment.
Yeah, I
and-
think it just
The
a lot of
same as
people-
Fred.
Yes, remember Fred?
Fred
Fred
never
was
got
really
canceled.
Talked
but
in a
it was,
high-pitched
it
voice.
was like it was
Give
that
him
same
time.
like
Give him
character.
time.
Give him time.
We'll find something.
All becomes
That
known,
orange
right?
is untrustworthy.
That annoying orange.
Annoying
I always knew
orange.
that orange was annoying.
Gosh, no.
I don't know.
That's kind of funny.
Well, that's been rocking my world this week.
Yeah, I'll tell you what else has been rocking my world.
Let's hear it.
The Grimace shake trend. I know we're behind the ball on it a
Yeah,
little
we
bit,
are. We are.
but we always are. Let's be honest.
I will, and to that point, I saw this TikTok that was like, it came out a couple of days ago, maybe even a week almost now. It was like, guys, I want to tell you this from experience. Get your Grimace shake videos in today. Don't wait, because this guy was saying, I made a late Harlem Shake video. We had some, we filmed this video, but we couldn't post it for a couple more weeks. It was dead in the water on approach. By the time we
Yep.
posted that Harlem Shake video, nobody saw it.
Nope.
We missed the trend by
Yeah, but
a
now
week
the
and a
trend
half.
is turning into Barbie.
Go ahead.
The Barbie shake.
Yes,
At
the
Cold
pink.
Stone.
This is how quickly these things happen, John. Is the pink Barbie shake at Cold Stone now? It
Should
makes
we get
you.
it? Should we go? see
makes
it?
you a
Go
Barbie.
spot and see
Should
it?
we be
We
on the
still
front
haven't
end of
gotten
that?
the Grimace shake though.
I just
I
love
know.
how violent the grimace.
No,
Like,
by the way, and it's. I thought it's hit its ceiling. There's a
No.
whole new layer
Yeah,
of like.
yeah.
Where are these people getting this Grimace animation that they're using? Have you seen the really
No.
scary? Oh,
Oh God,
bro, you gotta see it.
I love it.
It is
From
terrifying.
the Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, no, but
Yes.
it's like a graph, like almost like it's like moves. And it's-
Yeah.
Anyways, it doesn't matter.
filter or something.
I will say it is so funny, and
So
like
funny.
I wonder if McDonald's like
know.
planted that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
I know that somebody started the trend, and we'll probably never know the whole thing. But I wonder if McDonald's is like looking at the trends, going like, we need something
Yes.
off the cuff,
Okay.
crazy.
I saw this whole Twitter thing about how like certain big brands will intentionally tweet out things that could be easily misconstrued, like easily sexualized or easily made into a meme, because they're like, oh, the internet will take care of this and they'll make this blow up, and any press is good press, right?
I have to show you one of the more violent TikToks. I'll wait
Yeah.
to the post show
Thank
to do
you,
that.
thank you.
But
Which, by the way, check out our post
you.
show.
Yeah.
By
Go
giving
ahead.
just $4 a month to our Patreon, you can see things like behind the mics, our little BTS videos, the post show. That's right. Every week, not only do we do our episode, we do a post episode.
We
a little,
drank
a little.
4 grimace shakes.
Oh, should we go get them and then bring them
Which
back for
means
the
we have
post
to
show?
get 4 meals.
That would be
4
crazy.
Grimace birthday meals.
I think they started selling them just as is because people are.
Nope. No, they did not.
Oh, okay. This is
the whole meal.
McDonald's exec. That was from like 2 weeks ago. I saw somebody do it on TikTok. The point is
so funny. But also, I saw a really sad TikTok where it was like, it was some woman who works for the city, and she's spraying off
Purple.
the purple off the table, and she goes, "The city doesn't have any power washers." She's like using a hose, like to spray it off. And she's like, "The Grimace isn't.
"Don't
The
buy
Grimace
Grimace
trend
shakes."
isn't really that funny." And I'm like, "It is
Oh
though.
my
Like
God.
It is
Like,
though.
just wait till it rains.
no, McDonald's knew that.
I'm like,
what
first
they
of all,
were
when has
doing-
the city been this on top of cleaning stuff? By the way, literally any other time they're like, "We'll be there in 6 to 8 weeks."
I mean, did they?
They knew what they were doing because I got an email 2 weeks before the Grimace shake was the thing,
Uh-huh.
and the whole email was from Grimace's
Yes.
perspective, and it's like, "I'm Grimace.
Okay.
Sorry about my spelling. It's
Yes.
not very good.
I understand that.
I will have
They
shake."
could have never predicted that it was going to turn
Wait,
into
how,
this like
how did that turn into the trend though?
this like body horror, like
Yeah.
psychotic
Yeah, because they do this
Well,
back
kind of-
rooms
okay.
video.
A lot of the people doing the trend
Uh-huh.
are younger,
Sure.
who I don't think they know who Grimace is.
Yeah, that's
and
what
they
I'm-
just see a
Nobody
big
knows
purple
who Grimace
monster.
is.
So they're
That's-
like, "Oh, he's a monster.
that
He's
is
gonna
probably
get you
true.
at night."
But like what? Like honestly, I could not have predicted that this was gonna happen. Like
No.
it's
No way.
so
No.
far removed from.
And then
what it
like the
actually is.
CMO of McDonald's and chief marketing officers
Yes.
doing it, like so
Yep.
funny. You see that one?
It's so funny. No,
Because you have to just pivot,
Yeah.
right? Like you have to go, okay, we've got, something here, lean into it, right? Like
Well,
like I said, all
any
press is
company-
good press.
like any company, I think you have to lean into stuff like that. Like
Totally.
Like especially like McDonald's. Like come on, like anything that's
Yes.
making you money.
Have you
'Cause
seen
You have
the-
to think that every time they make those shakes, those videos, like they're I think they're probably buying 2 shakes at least. You know what I'm
Easily.
saying? To like spread everywhere.
Yeah.
and then
They're just
somebody
making
sees that and
money.
goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, we got to make a video like that. Well, let's go buy 4 Grimace shakes."
Yeah.
It's like
We should try. We should try the
Shake
Grimace
sales
shake,
were
and we should try
down.
the Barbie shake.
Yes.
Probably.
all I know is some
Probably. Yeah.
marketing guy at McDonald's is like raking it in right now. He's like, yeah, this was my idea, the purple shake. And I told, and they're like, no, you didn't. This was not your
Jeff,
idea.
you didn't.
Jeff.
We've been waiting
He's
for
like,
your
yes,
assignment."
it was. Yes, it was. I
Well,
thought
it's
of
so
purple shake. They're
funny.
like, yeah, but this is like psychotic internet humor. He's like,
Yeah.
I did it.
It like literally spiraled so much farther. Like
It
it's a
started-
shake. It's a shake.
It literally started as people just pouring it on themselves.
No.
They're like,
And
"This
then they
is
were like,
so
you know
good,"
what's
and
crazy?
now
And then it
it's,
went to like they're
murder.
dragged like in the back of a trunk of a car.
funny.
Can't-
Like,
and also we realized you can't buy just the shake. You have to buy the whole meal.
yeah, that's what Cara was saying. But I think you
Yeah.
can buy them individually now.
Oh man.
I think. I would imagine
Check
they.
on the app.
Yeah, check on the app. I imagine they were like, well, we'll sell way more if people
even
just
big,
buy the shake.
Even like I would say bigger social media creators are
Mm-hmm.
doing it. Like obviously in a muted way. Like they don't want to make themselves look bad
Mm-hmm.
because some of them are like their shirt, like all their clothes are out. Like
Yes.
But like you see these big creators, they do like a kind of a muted version. We're like, oh, and it's like that's what tells me like that's a really big trend.
It's a
Because
trend.
when you can't ignore it as like a
Yeah.
big creator, like you know
Yes.
it's catching up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Nope, you still have to buy the meal.
Dang.
So
people
It
every
are
also
time-
buying
says it's
multiple
currently
Big Macs.
unavailable
Yeah.
at
I bet.
the closest
If the
location.
CMO of McDonald's is doing it, they've won. Whoever
They're-
started
yeah.
this
Yeah.
is
for sure.
hilarious, and McDonald's can now, I don't know, what's the next
Well,
big
what's
thing?
funny
for
is
them?
I
whoever
think
came up with this
McDonald's
was
is going to
like-
be all right.
was
yeah.
like, oh,
Hamburglar.
maybe this is the anniversary of like the characters coming out, like Grimace and the Hamburglar.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's do a fun like
The
other
ha-
promotion.
I don't know.
The
I hope they don't do
Hamburglar
it
feels
again.
like an easier choice. Yeah, I feel like, but now they've put Grimace in the, in the zeitgeist.
I
so.
gotta show you some of these ones, man. They're so
Yeah.
So
great.
on the
iconic.
post show.
I love
On the
any
post
sort
show.
of creative marketing thing like that. Like, I mean, obviously McDonald's wasn't
Mm-hmm.
behind this, but like anything that like the movie we were talking about this recently. The when the movie Smile came out, I don't know if you saw those
Oh,
videos of like they had like people planted
At
this
baseball
is, like,
games.
Heard that
Yeah.
movie's actually pretty scary, isn't it?
Yeah,
Never saw it.
but they would.
I remember that they paid people to go to baseball games like in the front
Yes.
row and just sit there and smile, and everyone would be like, "What is this person
Yep.
doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like somebody had to think of that. Like, okay, we have this movie. What's a creative way? Because TikTok's so new. And there's so
Viral.
many, there's so many new ways of like
Well,
advertising.
you were saying about what was that Bumble? That
Oh.
strategy. I think we might have talked about it on the show. I don't know if we.
I think we
or not,
did, but they were like on the early days of Bumble, they would have like on college campuses, they'd put up signs that were like just not part of the school, but they'd put up a sign that said like no Bumble in class. And so people would go into class, like, class of 300 people in a lecture. They're like, what do you mean no Bumble in class? And then they said they'd hired this girl to wear a Bumble shirt, but she'd stumble in like 20 minutes into class. Oh, sorry, I'm late. Oh, I guess this is the wrong class. Like make a big scene in the middle, like right in front of everyone, and she's wearing this Bumble shirt, and so it's like subliminal.
I don't know though. I feel
They're like, what is Bumble?
I feel like I would totally miss all that. You know what I'm saying?
No
Like-
way.
like,
I
how-
was
no
gonna
way.
be like that stupid person.
Well,
I wouldn't
like
think about what
especially
shirt
that.
You probably
they're
wouldn't even
wearing.
think about
the
it.
sign, I'd be like, okay, because you said it was grouped with like Facebook and Instagram, which I'd be like, okay, what's Bumble?
It said
What am I missing?
it was a sign right by the door of the classroom, and it said no Facebook, no Instagram, no Bumble in class. And so
So
obviously college kids are like, wait, what? What's Bumble? Like, I know I can't do Instagram in class, but what's
The stumbling into class, it's subliminal. I guess it's really
because then
subliminal. I
because
just
you've
wouldn't
seen
notice it,
that's
you know?
like the double
So
whammy is
funny.
you've seen the sign no Bumble in class, and then you see the girl wearing the Bumble shirt.
wait.
You're
Okay,
like,
wait.
what? How do I gotta check out what Bumble is?
There's an episode of Nathan For You. I don't know if you guys have watched that show, Nathan
Yes.
For You, where he like subliminally like drops these like details for a trivia answers in this guy's life. And so he like sets up these scenarios because this guy is like supposed to do well at trivia, but he doesn't want to make him think he's cheating because this guy really cares about trivia. And so he's
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Nathan, who's like in charge of everything, sets up these scenarios where he's like, oh, we're just gonna go on a walk, and he like walks with this guy, and like a biker like crashes into them, and they're like, hey, did you know the bike was made in 19, whatever, it would like say these
Oh,
like
man.
facts.
He like
And so-
inceptioned him.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Have you ever,
Like,
John?
planted
You probably
these
shouldn't
facts.
watch that show. I feel like you'll absolutely spiral out and be
Nathan
like,
For
so
You?
good.
Nathan For You. Specifically, or no, that's the rehearsal. That's the rehearsal.
Sorry, yeah,
yes.
the rehearsal.
Same
but-
guy though.
So funny, like, yeah,
Because then it's, that show's great. It's fantastic.
hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you like, what are they? I've seen this guy. Yeah, okay. It goes to show you like, it makes me wonder like, what are
just
companies
Google
coming up with
Nathan
next?
Fillion?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Just really quick.
I did. I just want to see if I recognize the guy, and I do.
Yeah,
I see him on the TikTok. You know, they chop episodes up.
Right on the
Yeah.
TikTok.
Seeing him on the
Yeah, I
TikTok.
see him on the TikTok.
Johnny, you've got a big decision to make this weekend.
Yeah, what's that?
You're turning 27.
Yikes! I don't know, man.
Don't say yikes.
What's a big decision?
Yeah,
Already
well,
there.
he's
Am
gonna.
I gonna live my 27?
Are you gonna?
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
die
dark.
at 27.
Are you gonna have a grimace shake and be killed?
No. Yeah, no, it's kind of a weird feeling. I feel like, and you can speak to this too. You guys are all older, except for not you. You
I can
can't.
speak to it too, though. Probably.
We're all
After
older.
23, I feel like nothing's that fun anymore.
No.
That's so sad.
How old are you?
22.
Okay, so when I was 22, I was like, oh, it's still fun. Like 21 was last year. Obviously, I went out. You know, had my first
25 's not a
legal
big-
drink, right?
Uh-huh.
But then at 23 and 24, I was like, what am like? This doesn't even feel cool anymore. I kid you not, for like 2 years
You got married. That's cool.
till I was 25. If somebody asked me how old I was, I'd say I was 23. Not trying to fool them.
Uh-huh.
I thought I was 23 for at least 2 years. I just like never thought about.
Do you
it.
still feel that way? Do you still feel 23?
Sometimes
I do too. Like
I
it's a
stop
weird
at
thing to say.
25. I always think I'm 25.
You still feel like you're 25?
Yeah.
But isn't that weird?
Even though
like
you're 27.
I had to like come to terms, and then now I feel like I'd say I'm 25, and I'm actually turning 27 on
Yeah.
Saturday.
That's weird.
Like if somebody
So
asked me off the cuff,
every 2 years you kind of like renegotiate. You're
Right.
like, I'm 25.
Yep.
That's so true.
isn't
Yeah, I'm
that weird
27.
though? Like
Yeah.
for literally 2 years, and I remember I caught myself one time. It was like, oh, somebody asked me, oh, how old are you? And I was like 20, 23, and then
Wait a second.
I think Jordan was like, you're not
You're
23,
26,
you're
honey.
25, and I'm like. Oh, I am 25, and it makes you seem like you're trying to come off younger, but like,
You're like,
Yeah.
no,
I
no,
wasn't.
What
was
I
just
meant to
like,
say was,
I
Yeah.
just forgot I'm 25. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's like
So-
whenever I pass those booths, that's like, fix our potholes, sign this, sending voters. I'll either say, I'm not 18 yet.
Oh my
Or
gosh.
today-
They're like, we don't believe
Or
it.
Must
today,
be
I
nice.
walked
Grandma.
by and they went, are you
Sign
a
it,
San Diego
Grandma.
resident? And I went, no.
Jesus.
really? So you don't want to fix the potholes?
No.
Do you sign those?
No.
No.
Oh yeah, no way.
No.
No shot. Do you sign them?
There was one recently that they're like, oh, sign this, and my friend like stopped to sign it, and I was like, oh, maybe I will.
I guess
And
there's
then
no
they're
harm
like,
in
we
it.
need your phone number, we need your email.
Yeah,
we
it's
need
a lot.
was
It's
like,
all of your
no.
info.
I don't.
I
wanna
was
give
at
you
the
my
fair last week, and they were
It's the
giving.
pothole lady. That was today.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that. They were giving away like Chevrolet T-shirts at the Chevy booth,
email. Okay.
and they're like, "Oh, you want a free T-shirt?" Blah, blah, blah. And I, for a second, like forgot that it's not like free. You have
Everything's
to
an
give your
ad.
information, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, in my head, I was thinking like, "Oh, that's kind of cool, like whatever." But I didn't even say anything in turn. But then the lady next to me, she's like in her 50s. She's like, yeah, and 50,000 phone calls every day. And I was like,
Oh, dang, she's
Never
right though.
mind.
I was
She's
like,
right
you're
though.
right. I was like, so true.
Everything is free.
I saw something that kind of messed me up, and it was a TikTok, and it was like this guy that was like, "Hey, like, do you own a car? Do you lease a car? Yeah. Did you get it from a dealership? Uh-huh. Do you still have the little dealership thing on your license plate?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, because of keep your license plate safe." They're like, "It doesn't keep it safe. That's just free advertising for the dealership. Take that thing off."
Oh.
They're like, "Are they paying you for that advertising?" He's like, "No." I'm like, you take that thing off. You're right
Dang.
now free advertising for Toyota of El Cajon or whatever.
No,
Every
not
single
me.
day.
Huge.
Guarantee. I'm not.
I changed my license
Okay,
plate to a
that's
key
great.
one.
Yeah, so
She
do
gotcha.
what Cara did.
Gotcha.
Get a specialized
Gotcha.
license plate
Amazon.
cover.
Hey, real quick, we touch on the fair. I know we only have a couple more minutes left, but what were your thoughts on the fair this year?
Oh,
The
loved it.
theme was
Loved
eh,
it. Great.
Oh, I like the theme. I like the theme.
Get
Camping.
out there.
Weird take.
I think there's been weirder themes in the past.
The whole Beatles. Well, the Beatles is cool, but I felt like it was
Oh,
kind of
we were talking about
Yeah,
it.
super random.
Like a really good one a while ago was the Wizard of Oz. Remember the Wizard of Oz
That
theme?
was fun. That was
That
fun.
one
but
was
like,
good.
who's deciding these themes?
I don't really.
Wizard of Oz, the Beatles.
Committee.
I can honestly
Camping.
say don't really much care for the theme. Like
committee.
or
What's your favorite thing that you
I don't-
ate this year?
Good question.
Wait, should we go on
I-
a post show on it? Or
I had a what's that?
Just
Do
give
you want
him-
to
give him a
post
little
show
bit,
that?
give
We
him
got a
little
couple
bit.
minutes left of
Give him a
the
little- give him a
regular
little bit
episode.
then.
We'll talk more about this on the post show.
Yeah, that's true.
Best
That's
thing
true,
I
that's
ate
true.
was definitely the chicken in the pineapple. Slice the pineapple in half, scoop it out,
That's
put
all- it's every
teriyaki
year,
chicken.
though.
It's
You didn't try
delicious.
anything new?
It's delicious. I had some and I also had some barbecue fries that were pretty good.
Oh, nice,
Those are-
nice.
Something
nice.
new. We kind of balled out at the fair this year. We had a
Balled out.
hot
Okay.
Cheeto chicken sandwich.
A day of flexes.
You see that
that's
one?
Right. Yeah, I saw
you
that,
see that one?
I saw the hot Cheeto dusted wings, which I thought were like, that's kind of interesting.
It's always a big
But everything
like
at the
gotcha
fair is
thing.
interesting.
Everything
right?
is like something with hot Cheetos on it,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I love the fair. It's so much fun, right?
Did you and your wife have a good time? That's
We had a great time. It was our
kind of
first,
where you guys
our first date
established your love,
4
right?
years ago was at the fair.
Wow.
So we kind of always try to go, 2020, obviously no fair, and then 2021
No
and
fair.
all that. But yeah, so it was a good time. I'll tell you what, the food is enough for me. Like I would go, I feel like I could go several times just to try more things because I feel like a piece of trash if I eat more than one
Yeah.
thing.
Literally
You know what I'm
more
saying?
than one deep fried thing. You're like, I'm done.
Right, but then it's like, dude, how do you even choose? I'm walking around like, how do I choose? There's
Yeah,
so
my
many good
diet today was
things.
pretty
Do
poor.
you ever go to the Chicken Charlie's restaurant?
Oh, of course. We had the pineapple. Jordan had the pineapple and chicken. I went with
there you go.
my family without Jordan a week prior. So I had 2 instances where I could try things. But
Do you go to the restaurant? Like the
it's the actual restaurant.
Oh,
I heard about it.
well,
I've
they
never
had
been.
one. That year of COVID, they had the booth like
Yeah,
they
the
put at the
pop-up at
fair.
Gross
They just like
Monster.
Yeah.
put it up in the parking lot.
I saw
But
that.
there actually is a brick and mortar Chicken Charlie's restaurant
I
in
met
Claremont.
Chicken Charlie. I don't know if his name is Charlie, but the guy who owns it.
Is he a real
It's
chicken?
definitely chicken.
It's Chicken Charlie, I think.
Last name Charlie?
He
middle
was
name
doing
Charlie.
he was doing a segment
Chicken
on
Charlie
the news
Enterprises?
as my dad's band was playing, and so there was a crossover, and we actually got to try all the food, which was like a dream for me. I'm like, I'm gonna try everything.
Collab.
That's a crazy crossover.
And it was just like off air. We just happened to be there at the same time, and he was like, "Oh, we tried to open up multiple locations." And they had to close a bunch down.
Yeah.
Like he's like, it doesn't work in the retail space at all.
Maybe it's not there anymore. Maybe
I
it's
could've
not
told
there.
you that.
Wait, what do you mean? You could have told me that.
It's like
You don't
Fair
want
food.
to. You don't want a cherry
fair
syrup.
food year round.
You
What
just-
else can I
burger?
go
Yeah,
get?
yeah.
No.
In the middle of January, you're gonna go and get a deep fried
No.
Oreo. Come on, that's crazy.
No.
John Wood.
John Wood. Hey, happy
Oreos.
happy
Cool.
27th,
delicious.
John.
Thank you. Thank
We
you.
well, it's not yet. It's on Saturday, but
Happy
don't
birthday, Grimace.
don't say anything to me. Oh, and happy birthday, Grimace.
and dude, you and Grimace have the same birthday. That's cool.
And there's our TikTok.
On the couch as always, Cara Tafolla, Olivia Tafolla. I'm Ryan.
Oh wow, I'm
Wow, that was
John.
really good.
It just was a lot of Tafoyas. Go ahead.
Do you feel a little overpowered?
I do.
We'll see you next week on What
What
the
the
Podcast. Let's get him.
It's so warm in this garage.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Still not as hot as the